Hi everyone, Chris Rainwater's here. I am interviewing Sandy Kuhl. She is my son's kindergarten teacher and possibly the most patient human being on the entire planet. Sandy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Sandy. I'm a teacher and I absolutely love teaching. I grew up here in Vista and love being part of Vista. My husband grew up in Vista and he actually went to the school that I'm now teaching at. Both my parents are teachers, my cousins, my aunts, they're all teachers. It's what we do and it's what we love. I also coach and do lots of fun things with field hockey in Vista and middle
Nice.
school sports. I run a middle school program, so that's been really fun. And yeah, my husband and I got our first house this summer, and so kind of beginning that adulthood life, and it's just been really fun for us.
That's amazing. That's good though. I mean, it sounds like you're going in the right direction and you're not really letting COVID slow you down.
No, it's definitely been different. My husband's been working from home. He's an engineer, so being home for him is hard, but
Yeah.
certainly my job has changed teaching. But from COVID, we have been able to get a house, so that's kind of been for us the big positive out of this in such a chaotic and crazy world right now.
That's amazing. So what are some of the changes that you've seen in teaching then, um, because of COVID or not because of COVID?
Yeah. Well, I'm a virtual kindergarten teacher, so I feel like those two phrases don't really go well together, but somehow I think we're making it work. Some of the biggest things that I noticed is how can I engage my kids when all I see is this tiny little itty bitty screen of them, and I can't see like what their hands are doing, what's going on behind them, or if they're even listening to me. So trying to be as creative as I can over Zoom has been certainly a challenge, but something I love trying to figure out. So
Well, you've been doing an amazing job. I mean, you don't hear me going, pay attention to the teacher in the background, but he does pay attention for the most part.
no, it's been so fun. I feel like I get to know the families a lot more than I have during a traditional school year because I feel like I'm in your guys' homes. I'm helping, I'm interacting with families every single day. Um, yeah, I feel like these connections I made with families have been so much stronger than they have in the past, and I really like it.
Yeah, I could see how that would be because we all have to work together for our children's education now, more so than traditionally, I guess you could say. And what kind of changes do you want to see in the education system moving forward?
That's such a hard question because there's so many things to go on and there's so many things happening right now. I would love to see just a lot of connections. I think that's the biggest thing we can do in teaching. I love connecting with my other teachers and connecting with teachers from other schools. I feel very fortunate that my parents are teachers and I can connect with them and see. My mom's a first grade teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I'm like, hey, what do my kids need to know when they go to first grade? Sorry, my dog is popping.
It's okay. Mine will start barking uncontrollably in a couple seconds, so don't worry about
It's okay. So far, they're really calm.
it.
But yeah, there already are so many connections, but I would love to just keep growing the connections between schools. And I feel very fortunate that I already have that, but being
Yeah,
able to do that more would be awesome.
that's amazing. So I know you don't have a ton of experience yet, but
Right.
so far, what has kind of been your most positive teaching experience?
Um, that's hard. I just love teaching. So my parents are teachers. I started helping my mom when I was in first grade, like helping her sub or work with other kiddos. I taught preschool. This is my second year teaching and second year teaching kindergarten. I have to say just the connections. I love like when I see the kids I had last year walking down the hall and they go, hi, Mrs. Cool. Just knowing that I helped connect them to school. I helped make them proud of themselves or feel accomplished. Just seeing them during the day and knowing that they're happy to be there is just the best feeling in the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you know, everybody remembers their favorite teacher too. So I mean, you're really impacting these little lives. I know Killian absolutely adores you, and so do I, but
So
we're
fun.
grateful to have you in our lives.
Oh, thank you. It's really cool. When I started, so before I started teaching kindergarten, I was a long-term sub at the school I'm at now, in the classroom I'm at now, for the position I now have. But some of the kids in that classroom call me their kindergarten teacher. It's like, I was with you for maybe a month or two, but yes, I'll take it. Like, making connections is so huge.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I mean, I really could probably answer this question for you, but what qualities do you have that an excellent teacher is just, you know, what that is a necessity?
Well, first off, you're so kind. Still learning a lot. But I think patience is the biggest thing.
You have that in stride.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, but I seem to be really patient. A lot of people tell me that. And I think for teaching, and particularly teaching kindergarten, you have to have that patience to kind of listen to all their stories or questions that are not really questions. Tie all shoes whenever all of them need their shoes tied at the same time. Repeat instructions 30 times, but
it's like herding geese.
Yeah, everyone's like, okay, this way, now we're going this way. But I think patience is probably one of my biggest things that I have.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never once heard you snap. So
I have that teacher voice. I have that deep voice when I need it. But so far we haven't had to use it at all. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's awesome. So I guess besides the patience for days stereotypes, what other stereotypes do you think are true about teachers?
Well, it's interesting because I lived with teachers. Teachers raised me, as both my parents are teachers. But being able to multitask is something I've noticed I've developed pretty well over the past couple of years. And notice what all kids are doing at all times. I can have one having a tantrum over here, one's crying over here, one's trying to pull someone's hair over here.
Somebody bit somebody.
Like, I can do all of this at the same time. Yes. So I've done skill.
So segueing, what is the best part of being a teacher for you? Is it the hair biting or the pulling or the hair pulling? Or
no, I think honestly it's the connections with the students. Being able to, I love just being myself with them and giving them that freedom to be themselves with me and just being able to bond with them. I love when you see their eyes brighten up when they finally get something or themselves. I love that moment.
Oh, I've been able to witness some of that at home with Killian, and it's pretty rewarding. You're just internally, you're like, yes, like rooting for him. It's awesome. So I'm, besides the fact that, you know, you're generations long teacher, why did you become a teacher? Just because it's the family business, or was there some other motivation?
I've always loved working with kids. So I've always helped my mom in her classroom. I've been coaching since I was in 9th grade. And now I run a sports program and I've been doing a lot of stuff. So I've always wanted to work with kids, but I actually wanted to try something else for a while because like teaching's all I know. I'm being raised by teachers. All my family's friends are teachers. What else is out there that I have no idea? So I started looking at child psychology. That's what I studied in bachelor's. And then when it was time for me to get an internship, I decided to intern in a classroom. So I'm like, no, go back into a classroom. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, I still want to try. Let me go explore for a little bit. So I got my master's in social work. And then my first internship was back in a classroom. So I was like,
you couldn't get away.
And then halfway through my second year, I was interning. It was a great internship at UCSD in the Radiation Oncology Center as a social worker. And halfway through, I'm like, I love what I'm doing, but I belong in a classroom. I want to go help kids in the classroom. And so that very next year, I started teaching preschool. I got my teaching credential. I was like, I finally feel like this is the spot where I belong. So I kind of went, I knew I was going to be a teacher, went all the way back around. It's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be a teacher.
Full circle. That's awesome. So I know with, it's really tough right now with COVID and everything. And I've had a lot of issues, you know, with Killian just being bummed all the time and not really wanting to do anything. What's some good advice? Like, how do you motivate and encourage your students, especially, you know, since they're stuck at home
Right.
by themselves and lonely?
I know. And that's I feel like one of my big strengths too is the social skills and behavior skills that I can help students with. But I feel like the biggest thing that I'm trying to do, and hopefully I'm succeeding a little bit, is showing them how much I care and how excited I am for them. So I know I'll be silly. I don't mind wearing a silly hat or pajamas to school, and we're the only class that's doing pajama day, and the rest of the school can see me in my pajamas.
You look so cute as Pete the cat on Halloween.
I'll do whatever I need to for my students. Show them that I care and show them I want to have fun with them, and I'm excited about the things that you can do. And so that's been my biggest thing, is I'm going to show you how much I care, and I'm going to like dial it to 100 right now.
Yeah, just kind of
excited about school.
Yeah, get the motivation going and just keep it rolling, you know, full steam ahead kind of thing. Is that, I mean, speaking of like, as far as like coping with COVID-19 and all that, I mean, what's really your best advice? Just staying positive, or do you have, impart us with your wisdom?
My principal has been coming up with these amazing quotes for us, leading us as a team. And one of these words, she keeps saying grace. And that word has really caught on. Starting in the spring, she always reminded us to go with grace, go with grace. Give yourself grace, give your students, give your families grace. And that's kind of been the big message I've been keeping, like, give grace. I don't know what other people are going through. Other people don't know what I'm going through, but I can put on a positive face right now. I can help someone who needs extra support. So
Yeah.
Grace, and go with compassion, because you don't know what someone else is dealing with.
Well, that's inspirational. I mean, that does definitely help. I know I've been, it's tough right now. It really is. And, any type of positivity or support you can get from another human being is it means so much more now than it did before. So
Right.
I really appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And, Killian and I think the world of you, and we want to let everybody else know how we feel about you too. So, Sandy is a teacher at Monte Vista Elementary School. And, if you've got little ones ready to go into elementary, Monte Vista has been a wonderful, supportive, great learning environment. And, I encourage you to enroll your children.